Hey guys, welcome to Average Joe Rants. We got a bit to talk about today. So let's go ahead and get right to it. Sorry, my hair's a little messed up. I just got done with Far Cry 3, Classic Edition, and I just took my headphones off. But I wanted to get a video out real quick while I can, because it's like almost midnight right now. Probably going to be past midnight when I get done with this video, so yeah. So recently, Trump has actually brokered a peace deal between Israel and Palestine. Pretty exciting stuff. Um, they have basically first part of the peace plan that has been laid out involves a ceasefire and the exchange of hostages. And yeah, it's been pretty damn good. So the Israel hostages just arrived back in their country the other day, I believe yesterday, and the Gaza hostages, or the Palestinian hostages, have actually returned back to Palestine. Pretty exciting stuff. There's a ceasefire, which means both countries are getting aid from the Red Cross right now. People could be seen, dancing on both sides, celebrating on both sides. It's a very happy time for both of those countries who honestly thought that one or both of them were probably going to be wiped out in just this mutual war. So yeah, it's pretty good. You would think, considering the amount of attention it has garnered, that the pro-Palestine activists would be embracing this, right? Would be celebrating this. Even if it's temporary, there is a ceasefire. People are rebuilding. They have their families back. They have the members of their families back. I consider it nothing short of incredible that these two countries are actually able to reach even part of a peace deal. So you'd think these activists would actually be happy about it. The genocide has been put on hold, perhaps indefinitely. And, they think they'd be happy about it. Ladies and gentlemen, you didn't really think it was going to be that simple, did you? No, no. Instead, they have actually gone full on retard by now not even caring about the genocide, but just straight up saying Palestine should be the only state. I'm not even joking. There are literally pro-Palestinian protests, blocking roadways, blocking a lot of shit. Not even celebrating the fact that the genocide that they were protesting against has been put on hold. They simply moved on to the next thing, which was Palestine should be the only fucking state and Israel should burn. These people cannot be happy. I will be the first to say that. These people I actually feel sorry for, because you just can't make them happy. You legitimately can't. The thing they were protesting against for like 2 fucking years is put on hold, perhaps indefinitely, like I said, and they're still protesting. Why? I'd understand if the peace deal fell apart and it continued, but it's on hold. People are getting their lives back together in those countries now, as we speak. Supplies have been, like medical, food, water, a lot of supplies have been driven in, flown into both countries. But that's not good enough for these people. apparently. Now they are saying that essentially Palestine should be the only country that gets this stuff. And I don't get it. That's why I'm saying I feel sad for these people, because they do not know an ounce of happiness. Even when they get the shit hand delivered to them, the shit they've been fighting for, a peace deal to stop the genocide in Gaza, they still fucking bitch. And you'd think some of the Democrats, and to their credit, some of them have actually thanked Donald Trump for brokering this deal. You'd think some of the more extreme ones who were literally running on this platform would be happy. Once again, not that simple, because of course they fucking aren't. Some of them even gone so far as to say we shouldn't get involved in other countries. What the fuck do you think all those pro-Palestinian protests for the last 2 years were doing? The amount of dumb fuckery and mental illness it takes to think of this as a bad thing. It's incredible to me. Like, these people legitimately need to be locked up in an asylum. Like, because it's Trump doing it, it's a bad thing? What the fuck is wrong with you? Oh, but Biden did. That's the first thing they tried to fucking claim, by the way. It's Biden's plan for the last 4 years, and Trump just stole it. Well, buddy, if it was Biden's plan for the last 4 years, why the fuck wasn't it ever implemented? Even if you take away the fact he was gone for half of the 4th year, that's still three and a half years you're not fucking answering for at this point. How the fuck, like, a plan like this probably takes at least, I would assume, 2 years, correct? Maybe 2.5. That's still a year to implement this shit, or at least get the ball rolling. Nothing happened during Biden's administration. This wasn't his plan at all. So then when that failed, they just started fucking making it seem like a fucking bad thing. Which is crazy to me. You cannot talk to these people or, like, discuss anything with them at this point. Because now they're literally saying that any peace in the Middle East is bad. That's literally just what they're basically saying. Is if it comes from Donald Trump, if it comes from Biden, it's completely okay. If it comes from Donald Trump, it's a bad thing. It is insane. Like, literally, I don't know how I ever believed this shit in the first place. I was young. Holy fuck, I was young when I started believing this shit. And now when I'm older and more wise, I'm just like, how the fuck was I ever that stupid? Like, Jesus Christ. It's a basic thing of these people are finally getting what you've been fighting for 2 years. Stop complaining already. You've been protesting against the genocide. It stopped. They're getting shit that they desperately needed. They're no longer starving at this point. They've been fed, they've been watered, they've got medical supplies from the Red Cross, they've got building supplies from the Red Cross to start rebuilding their city. But that's still not fucking good enough for these people. Which just basically proves the thing that they never gave a shit in the first place to me. Because if you give a shit about something and it finally happens, you stop giving a shit about it because there's no reason to give a shit about it anymore. They're getting aid. The genocide has stopped for the moment. Whether it stops indefinitely or not, it remains to be seen, but the fact of the matter is there's no reason to complain as of this moment. There's no need to protest as of this moment. It's been achieved. And now it's been achieved, you're gonna fucking still protest it, but now just flip the script trying to say that Palestine should be the only fucking state? That it, like, what does that imply then? That Israel shouldn't fucking exist or should be burned the fuck down? This is fucking crazy to me. It really is. And I'm gonna stop talking about it because there's still a lot that needs to be figured out with the peace plan. But I can already give you a fucking like I can already give you a prediction about what's gonna happen if this peace still goes through. They're still gonna bitch about it. They're still gonna complain. They're still gonna protest. Because these people have literal derangement syndrome when it comes to fucking Trump. Nothing he does, he could literally create world peace, literal world peace, cure world hunger, cure cancer. It doesn't fucking matter. They'd find some way to spin it into a fucking bad thing. And that's fucking crazy to me. But, you know, that's all I had to talk about, that'd be a pretty short video, wouldn't it? For our next subject on Average Joe Rants, this is about a man that I have so far avoided making a video against despite having all the incentive to do so. Because, quite frankly, I didn't want to get into any of the drama despite me being a small YouTuber. But this time I'm going to speak out because it involves something that I honestly feel that if you do so, do this to... If you do this, you deserve to be buried under the fucking prison. God, why is my fucking... God. Sorry, my nose is getting stuffed up for some reason. Give me a sec. Alright, that's a little better. Animal abuse is what I'm about to talk about, and some of you watching might actually be getting that aha moment, because I'm about to talk about Hasan Piker. Now, I said I wanted to do a video on him, but I also avoided doing it because a lot of the shit he is about, I am against, but not enough to specifically make a whole video about it. Right? And then he tortured his dog with a shock collar. And now I have to kind of speak about him because he is now officially, in my opinion, the biggest piece of shit on the internet. Along with the likes of Mini-Lad, and yet I even would say Mini-Lad's less of a piece of shit than Hasan Piker is right now. Because, you know, the thing about Mini is, like, allegedly he made inappropriate comments towards his underage viewers. Allegedly. Not much of it was proven. There was enough to prove a case, obviously. And his whole reputation went down the drain because of it, rightly so. But in the case of Hasan, there is video evidence. There is multiple cases of video evidence, multiple videos of him torturing his fucking dog. This is wrong to do it to an animal. I don't care who you are. I don't care if it's a cultural thing. I don't care. I don't care what the excuse is. I don't care if it's for training. I don't care. At no fucking point do you ever put a shock collar on your dog unless the dog is absolutely misbehaved. That is what those are for. They're for dogs that, like, bite people or scratch them. Or, you know, it's the same reason why people get shock fences, invisible shock fences. The same fucking reason. Is to teach a dog not to go outside or go outside and like chase cars or bite people. But this wasn't the case with his dog Kaya. He tries to claim it's place training, but the problem with that is that place training literally means place, as in the whole place, like his whole house, his whole apartment. Like, don't go out of this place or you're gonna get shocked. You know, that's place training. And even then, you're not supposed to do it multiple fucking times. What he was basically doing was putting his dog in like a square of his apartment and basically shocking her whenever she left that square. Keep in mind, the dog has to piss, it has to shit, it has to eat, and it has to drink. By shocking this dog whenever she left this square of his room, he basically made her afraid to even leave the square to do anything. To go piss, to go shit, to go eat, to go drink. And that's why place training means place. Because it literally means the entire apartment and nothing outside of it. That is place training. What he was doing was animal abuse. Because he's going to make that dog so fucking afraid to leave that spot to the point where it would rather just shit on the fucking bed or go or starve than go outside that square. And then this cowardly little shit, and yes, I am calling him a coward for this, tries to hide the fact it's a shock collar. Despite the fact it's clearly visible on the dog's neck, despite the fact it's fucking very easily found on the internet, because someone literally looked up what the collar was, because he tried to claim it's a vibration collar, and they found out, oh, it's actually this specific model, and it's a shock collar. But he tried to hide that fact by putting duct tape over the prongs. And then he tries to make the excuse, oh, well, it's actually a shock/vibration collar. And then he just defaulted to the vibration. And then he just straight up goes, oh, well, I'm shocking her because of place training. Again, place training means place, as in house, as in apartment, as in anywhere outside that place is a no-no. When you do the, okay, it's not place training if you're putting your dog in a square to where it can't get out to shit, piss, eat, or drink. And it's not like this is like the only time he's done this. It's the only time he's been caught. And his ass ain't sorry that he fucking shocked the dog. His ass is sorry he got caught doing it. And of course all these other YouTuber friends of his are like, oh, like Pokimane, like, oh, you know, her staff tried to fucking like to say, yeah, we're canceling the fucking stream with Hasan because of all this shit. And she goes, like a fucking idiot, she fucking goes like, oh, well, that wasn't my fucking, you know, decision. Yeah, I bet it wasn't. I bet it wasn't your decision, Pokimane, because quite frankly, you are exactly the type of person who would advocate for animal abuse. So it's, you know, and on a separate note, I'm so glad Ethan has sued Hasan's orbiters, because the less support he gets, the more vulnerable he's going to be to the legal system, to Congress, which he's already in hot water for. All the shit he's talked about, like with terrorists, like he's actually talked to a legitimate terrorist from a terrorist group, Which, by the way, his dumbass actually, because his dumbass actually did that, that terrorist group actually got caught and executed on live TV. So, because of course it's the terrorist group, the terrorist I talked with didn't cover his fucking face at all. And I doubt Hasan even told his ass that it was going to be on fucking Twitch. So he inadvertently actually got several people killed, even though they were terrorists. But he still got them fucking killed. And then one last thing before I end the video. This is one of those videos where I want to get several subjects out of the way because there's not a lot going on. But I want to make a video and sort of get them out in the open. Maybe if stuff, advances, I'll have a whole fucking video to talk about that specific subject. The lawsuit with Ethan Klein, or H3H3 against Denims, Casey Tron, yada yada yada, has actually revealed something kind of interesting. And if it turns out to be true, it might actually end Reddit. Now, what the fuck am I talking about, right? Well, it turns out Reddit actually might be a company instead of a free online forum board. Yeah. It legit might seem it. All the evidence is actually pointing towards the fact that Reddit is a company with employees who have, for the last 10 years, basically been doxing and canceling people. Now, the thing is that, now where's the evidence that this is a thing, right? Well, one of the biggest mods, in fact, the head of mods, as the official title would suggest, weirdly enough, head of moderation, has specifically stated he's worked for Reddit, or he works for Reddit. Now, there's a huge difference between being on Reddit and working with Reddit, or working for Reddit. Being on Reddit is what people like me do, or people like Asmongold does, or people like Hasan does, right? Sometimes we're on Reddit, we find something to bitch about, and we bitch about it. However, working implies that he is being paid to basically moderate shit. Now, why is this such a big deal? Well, Reddit, to my recollection, has never publicly admitted that they are a legitimate company with employees. What does every company need to do, by the way, every year to the IRS? What do they need to give? Well, they need to give their profit margins, they need to give their pay stubs for the employees, any tax breaks, they need to put on, they would need to, there's a lot of shit that you have to give to the IRS if you are a company for tax purposes. That's why a lot of companies try to do tax breaks, because then it makes it cheaper for them to do taxes and therefore make more money. And that's why sometimes you'll see companies fucking do like charity events and stuff like that, because that gives them tax breaks and makes it so it's cheaper to do their taxes. If this is true about Reddit being a legitimate company, this means that they have not done that for the last 10 or so years. which is fraud. It's legitimate fraud. Tax fraud, for that matter. Company fraud. It's fraud. It is fraud. If they have not actually put forth any paperwork for the last 10 or so years to the IRS. Like, this could legitimately, if it turns out to be true, which it's looking like it, if it turns out to be true, could end Reddit. Because everybody who is a part of that company would have to be arrested for fraud. Any employees working there who knew about this fact would be arrested. The owners of the company would be arrested. Because you can't just fucking make a company and not register it. Because all this shit does come out. All this shit with like people's paperwork when it comes to companies, it's public. And that's how you get people's receipts, is it becomes public. And the only reason if something you want to hide doesn't become public is because you're trying to hide it. Or you're hiding it. So, yeah, it could very well be that H3H3 or Ethan Klein has actually come across quite by accident this huge scandal. Now, obviously, the moderator could prove that he was just talking this bullshit and all that. That's probably, gonna put a needle in it, deflate everybody's hopes. But I don't think he was kidding, because he mentions it several times. And he even refers to himself as the head of moderation, which is a very official sounding title. So we'll see what happens. It'd be fucking crazy, though, honestly, if that was the case. But, yeah, that's all I got for you today, guys. Gonna not make a video for a bit, mainly because I got some shit I gotta take care of. Not gonna tell you about it, not because I don't trust you guys, but whether I don't trust the internet as a whole. And let's just say there's a lot I need to take care of over the next few days. But until then, I'll see you guys for the next video. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you didn't, be sure to comment below what you hate about it. Until then, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.